Okay, so we're going to deal with some tone masses today. And right here, this is just a little warm-up sketch, doing it super quick, nothing fancy, putting in some shadow shapes, and it helps get me in the groove. You know, I just built the head real quick, and then I just put in those shapes and kind of get warmed up and get a feel for things. But these are a lot of fun to do, and you guys can mess around and try them sometime. Okay? And we'll move into the lesson now. Okay, everybody, welcome back. And this is going to be the second video, continuing our first video, where we basically worked on the simple structures of the head, right? I tried to break it down and keep it real simple. Now, one thing that I wanted to explain to you guys, you might be thinking, well, why should I draw all these lines like this? Why should I draw through? You know, why should I draw these long lines? Like, how is that going to help me at the end of the drawing, right? Well, I'll explain to you right now how it's going to help you. Because if I do this drawing, right, and I'm not relating, like, let's just use the eye cover fold, how I drew this line coming through. Well, what I did was I related, okay? I related one side to the other, right? One side to the other, just like that. Okay, so that way it's going to keep the rhythms, it's going to keep things in alignment in the drawing, right? Same with when I use these long lines to plumb, right? So I plumb something, corner of the eye here down to the corner of the mouth, right? I use a long line, right? So we go from there, we come down and we relate it, okay? So at the end of the drawing, after you render stuff out, if you don't have those long, we call it relational measuring. If you don't have that stuff relating, then when you get to the end of your drawing, it's not going to work. Okay? So we'll just cover that. It was a question I had from the last video. And today, what we need to do is, I'm going to take you guys a little bit slower process than you're probably used to seeing people throwing stuff around on the canvas or on the paper and being fancy and stuff, but that's not really going to help you guys. What's going to help you guys is watching these videos, okay? You want to get better at drawing, you got to watch these videos, all right? So what we have to do is, you see our reference here, we have to start articulating some shapes, okay? So what does that mean? Well, articulating, we need to be more specific, and we need to separate the light from the shadow, okay? Now, art drawing and things like this is good training for that, because it really shows you in contrast the separation of light and shadow. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw it on this, and I will show you for example. All right, so if we look at the reference here, right, I see what we call a bedbug line or a terminator line, and that is coming right from here, and then I see it coming down, right? So we'll just start there. We just want to get it in the ballpark, right? So I'm just going to slowly draw these bedbug lines out as I see them, okay? So right there. Actually, this one, I'm going to push that just a bit over, because I have this is where the plane changes. So I'm going to try to make sure that I wrap these bedbug lines pretty close to what the plane change would be there. Now, this is just real simple at first, okay? And let's see, how am I going to design? I'm designing these shapes, okay? Shadow shapes. There, and this. I try to be specific as I can. I don't have to be too crazy with it, but take your time and try to draw and design the shape, okay? I see that shape coming down here, and I'm just mapping out the separation of light and shadow. That's all I'm doing. Very easy. Everybody can do it. This one here I'm going to simplify. Sometimes I'll put them in and then say, well, I need to design that a little bit better. So that's what I'll do. Down. Okay. If I squint, I'm going to put this all in shadow here. Oh, needing your eraser. So I'm just still using that big pencil and a little kneaded eraser. And I just kind of clean it up. Now, when you think of these shadow shapes, they're going to wrap the form, right? We keep them pretty general at this point. Boom. And what's happening here? So what I see here is a cast shadow. I'm just going to draw the shape of the upper lip. And I'm not going to draw, what you don't want to do is outline everything. You want to draw shapes. There's a shape there. And we have a shape here. Comes up. This upper lip here, and here is one shape. All right, that shape's going to come down. Now, we'll just come back up here and start completing some of this. There is a simple light shape here that I'm going to draw. Right there is a light shape. And if I squint, make sure you squint at your reference. It's good training. And I see this coming down right here. So I make sure that I curve it because the shadow shape has to wrap the form. Okay? And then right here, I'm just going to draw a little symbol for that shape. And then it's going to come out. And I think it'll come up. I'm drawing these shapes specific to what I see. Now, it's very abstract at this stage of the drawing. I understand that. But this is how you set it up. Okay? So I'll give you a little hint here. Like that would all be in shadow. Okay? All of that is going to be in shadow. Right? This whole side here. So as I map out these shapes, I'm just sketching this in just to give you a little idea real quick of what direction we're heading. All right? And you can just use a pencil, hatch it in. You might have seen me in some other videos. Sometimes I'll use a blending stump and some charcoal. It doesn't matter. Just fill the mass in. You know, one flat shape there. Okay. And we're probably going to do just a smaller section of this drawing, and then for the homework, you guys can do the rest of the portrait, okay? Because we only have a limited time on these videos. So we'll just take a little section, maybe right here, and I'm going to demo it for you, and then you guys can go home and you can practice, okay? Or if you're already home, then you can practice it, right? Now, my goal when I'm doing this stuff is to help you guys. I know not everybody has an opportunity to study at an art school, and so it does take years of training to be able to see light and shadow and understand values and simplify shapes and edit things, but I'm going to do the best I can to help you guys, okay? So just put that in flat. Hatch it in with the, you can use a graphite pencil. Hatch it in. But you'll see, we already got something that is resembling our guy here. That's pretty much all also in shadow. Okay, remember you just want pretty much a flat value in the shadow. Alright, I'm not making it real dark. On a value scale of 1 to 9, I'll probably keep it at like a 7. Okay? Just fill that in. So if you look at the reference, that's all shadow. Okay? We got those couple light shapes there, which I need to probably bring. That one needs to come up a little bit, I think. See, as you put in value, you can judge the distances a little bit better, right? Yeah, so I'm just going to put that symbol, oval there, and then, yeah, so the rest of that will be in shadow. We will hatch all that in. Use me graphite. I'll just use the graphite for now. It doesn't, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. Use the graphite, use the charcoal. What matters is the principle, right? That's what matters. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Of course, this also was going to be, you look at the reference there, that would all be in shadow, right? That's all in shadow. Yep. And if I look up there, I'll keep in mind that that's kind of a sharp edge there. It's a cast shadow. This is going to be a sharper edge. This will all be soft. It's a turning form, so turning form sharp. This in here is a bony area, so I'll probably bring that over even more. But I don't want to get I don't want to get sucked into all the minutia right now. So for now, leave it as such. Okay, so now what I'll do, you can use a paper towel, a blending stump, anything you want. You could use your finger. You can go like that. I'm just going to use a little blending stump here, and I'm just going to kind of push it into the paper and try to make it nice and flat. Okay? This is step 2 of your drawing process, right? Like I said, we got limited time, so I got to get you guys. I can't go too in depth with things, but I will do the best I can. And you can just copy what I'm doing, and that's going to help you tremendously. Okay, filling that in. Put that in flat. All this nice and flat. You don't have to worry about the edge here. Just kind of hatch it out for now. Yeah, right there. Flat. Sometimes you can turn it to the side, kind of soften it a little bit, not so harsh. That's fine for now. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's just fill this in. So very, very simple, right? I'm breaking this down to the bare necessities here, the bones of it. And the bones is the separation of light and shadow, okay? There'll be a couple of edges. I'll just kind of soften that a little bit. And then I'll come back with my kneaded eraser and clean it up. All right, same with this stuff here. In here, I am going to just bring that across that keystone wedge for now, just because I really like to do that. And everything that's pretty much hanging out here, you know, you guys can kind of lighten it now. That structure, you can knock it down, you can get rid of it. That's fine. And same within here, clean up the light shapes. Clean up those light shapes as you come through the drawing. Just like that. And this is what we call, this is basically a pattern stage of the drawing. Okay? I'll probably clean this up a little bit more too. Okay, you guys, so hopefully that helped you out. We're running close to our time here, so if you guys have questions, please post them. Remember, do this, edit your shadow shapes through the rest of the drawing, okay? Just like that. Keep it nice and clean. Separation of light and shadow, okay? You can clean up all the construction lines and all that we had in there. That's fine. Those are just there to kind of help us, you know, build the drawing. And really all you want is just a light and shadow pattern, okay? So hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you on the next video. Post your comments. Hopefully you guys like it. If you have any other questions, that's fine too. I'll be glad to answer them. And I'll see you guys on the next video, okay? All right. That's fine. Take care.